Hello and welcome everyone in today's video where we will try to go over this master material that I've created for an Arch Viz project. We will go over the parameters that this master material has, and later on we will see how easily we can create various material instances and how we can manipulate these parameters to sort of create any kind of materials that we might need for an Arch Viz project. Before moving forward to the material instances, I would like to go over a little bit about what material instances are and what are the advantage of material instances. Material instances are kind of the children of the master material. They inherit all the parameters. For example, this is my master material and it has various parameters. For example, we can change the UV tiling of this, we can change the UV rotation of the materials, we can change the texture maps, we can override the colors and other intensity values. So when we will create material instances of this material, our master material, the instance will inherit these parameters. Let me show you. So if I right click and create material instance, let's name it mi for material instance. Let's name it children. Now let's double click open it, and you can see that it has all the parameters that it inherited from the master material. Now let's quickly go over all the parameters that it has, and then we will see how we can manipulate them and to create our desired materials. As you can see, each and every parameters has a tick box associated with them. If we tick them, then we can override the default values. At the beginning section, you will see that we have an option to decide whether we're going to be using combined ORM maps. About the ORM map, I will get into them later on in this video, but basically they're a combination of occlusion, roughness, and metallic map stacked together. We use them to better optimize our project. It reduces the amount of maps required for those three channels. And if we take it as true, you will see immediately that the number of maps reduced. We can uncheck it and have this map separated if we have separate textures for all of them, and then we can go over each of them and override them with any texture we want. Same goes for every texture map. We can manually override each of them. And then we have the options to tile our UV. It's the combined UV. We can also independently tile our UV. We have to tick the independent tiling, and then we have to tick it as true. If it's true, then we can see that we have some more parameters. So U scale and V scale. So we can scale it along the U and scale it along the V. I've added this parameter just to have better control over the overall material. And then we have the rotation angle, which we can use to rotate our material, which we sometimes need to align our textures to our models. And then we have a base color, which will be multiplied with our texture map. I have added this node just to manipulate our base color. We can also completely override this map if we want. We have to click at custom color and make it true. Then it will be completely override by this color that we can manually add. And then we can also add tint color, which will also be added over our base color. And we can also control the intensity of the tint. We can add color variation, also you can call them noise, just to have color breakups. Add variation, we should make it yes. We can change the variation texture. We can add any sort of noise texture on it. Let's change it to noise 2. We can also change the scale of the noise. We can change the intensity of the noise. We can change the color as well. And then here is the normal strength, which is pretty straightforward. We can change the strength of the normal. As you can see, if we get closer to 0, it gets smoother, and if we increase it, the normal get intense. Then we have the roughness override. If we make it as true, it will override any roughness mask that we have, and then we can set the manual roughness as anything we want. So that's that. Same goes for the metallic. It works pretty much similarly to the roughness override. If we set it as true, it will override the map we have here, and then we can manually adjust the strength of the metallicness. Same goes for ambient occlusion, but we don't use it that much. And then we have emission. If we click it, manual emission, and make it true, set the tint, and we can also change the intensity of it. So that's the overview of the material. Now let's create something specific. And now we will see how we can create various materials just simply by manipulating the parameters that we have. So let's create a material instance. Let's name it. Let's try to create some metal with it. Let's open it, and I will change the default object to something that I think will be better to see how our material is working. So let's change it to this one. Alright, so let's try to create a metal. Let's decrease the scaling. Let's change the color to custom color. Let's try to make a gold material from it, so yellow. Then let's decrease the normal, something like this, which gives us a subtle bounce that metals tends to have. And then let's decrease the roughness, because metal are shiny. And now let's override the metallicness and add manual metallic value. So as you can see how easily we created this metal material, and we can very easily manipulate it on the go. We can change the bumpiness. We can even make it silver if we want. We can make it bronze. Okay, let's go ahead and save this. So this is our metal. Now we will create another very common material in an Arch Viz project, which is a wall material or a plaster. We will create a very simple wall material from it. Once again, I'm changing the preview mesh. So let's override the color. I'm going for off-white wall, so I will select the off-white color slightly. Then I will increase the tiling because at this moment this is very rough. That's more like a wall. And now we will increase the normal a bit. Let's see. All right, now I guess the roughness value is good. We don't have to change it because it's rough at this moment, and that's what we need. We don't need to override the metallicness as well. So yeah, here is our basic wall material, which we can add some color variation on top of it if we want, like some slight dirt. I get that looks quite what I was looking for. Let's decrease the intensity of it, and here we go. And in the next part we will see how we can use custom texture maps to basically create any PBR material we want using this master material. So let's go ahead and create another material instance. This time I will create a roof tiling, so mi_roof tile. I have downloaded some textures for the roof tile, which I'm going to use right now. Here are the textures. So what we need to do is first of all, let me check if the ORM map is packed or not. I'm going to use this roof texture, and I can see that the metallic roughness map are separated, so it's not packed. Let's just override them one by one. Let's cut it. Diffuse color, let's change it. Then we have the normal map. Let's override the normal map as well. The roughness map. And the metallic map as well, which is black. That means the metallicness is 0. So that's pretty much it. That's how you create a PBR material with this master material, which is pretty simple. You don't have to drag and drop any nodes, you don't have to manipulate any nodes, and it's pretty much simple like this. But you have all the controls that you need. So let's change the tiling amount, something like this. Let's save it. I'm gonna apply this to a model that I have so that we can see how it's interacting with the model. So here is my roof material. Let's put it into the roof. As you can see, it's working pretty much how I wanted it. So this is how you create PBR material. Now I will show you how these parameters work. All right, so let's see. We can change the independent tiling, which means we can tile the texture along the U and V scale separately, as you can see. I mean, I can change the length of the tile. Let's see how it changed. As you can see, it impacted the model in real time. You don't have to compile it even. Save it. It changed here. Anyway, let's try to have some custom color on it. For example, I want a darker roof. So I will select a darker color, and we can see that it updated here as well. But I don't need the separate tiling. I just showed it so that you can see how it worked. Now I won't add a tint color. I will add some color variation, yes, so that it looks more natural. I guess the variant color is also okay. But one tip that I think is important is to have your variant color to be very similar to your original diffuse color. It will look more natural like that. I guess the noise texture is also good. Let's change the variation scale and change the intensity of it. The normal strength, let's increase it a bit so that our tile will pop more. We don't need to override the roughness and the metallic. Alright, let's save it, and as you can see, it updated here. And now we will try to create another material, but this time we will create it with packed ORM map. ORM or ARM stands for ambient occlusion, roughness, and metallic. So ORM map is a combination of all three maps. We use them to better optimize the project. Instead of using three maps, we use one map, which saves us space and resources. So for this one, the ORM is packed, so let's make it true. Now let's override all three maps. By the way, these textures that I'm using here, I will put a link in the description where you can find this kind of textures and more. These are CC0 textures, which means you can use them for whatever kind of project you want. I'm gonna create this material, so let's override this. Take this and override the diffuse map, the ARM map, and the normal map. We are almost there. Pretty neat. So we can change the tiling amount if we need. We can override the roughness. Let's make it a bit shinier. Something like that. We can increase the normal strength, and we can add some color variation on it. Let's see. Some dusty type of vibe. Let's change the scale and the intensity. As you can see, how easy it was to create and then manipulate the material. Let's save it and apply it to our model to see how it's interacting. We should definitely change the scaling, which we can do pretty easily. Let's make it something like 15. Let's save it. I think we don't need the variation color. Let's save it. And you can see we have our material here. So this is how you create materials from the master material with or without using texture maps. You can use both packed maps or unpacked maps. I hope you will find this resource helpful. I will make sure to attach this master material in the description so that you can download it, and you just have to drag it to your content folder and then you will be able to use it. I highly recommend you to go over the master material and see how everything was set up. And let me know in the comment section if you want me to break down this master material. I can create a separate video with this. And I'm also planning to create another tutorial on advanced glass shaders. So look out for that one, I guess. And if you guys have any comments or suggestions for me, feel free to write down the comment. And if you have any questions related to this, I will try to answer them in the comments. So until we meet next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.